When it comes to observing couple behavior, the powers that be must have had a sense of humor to ask me, the long-term office single Pringle, to do it. Nevertheless, I did my best, did some sleuthing, and I'm here to present y'all with my findings. So earlier this week, on March 20th to be specific, Megan Fox made an appearance on the Call Her Daddy podcast, which in recent history has really been a hotbed for celebrity confessions. The one thing Megan was very clear about while on said podcast was that her romance with MGK will no longer play out in the public eye. And then she attempted to play the no comment card in a very cryptic way. If you're asking me, I think that the comment suggests they're no longer engaged. For anybody scratching their heads over the starlet's vague relationship update, she confessed that she can see how it's confusing for the public to understand, otherwise known as, "Go girl, give us nothing." Okay, how about this for proof? They apparently went through this massive fight and rough patch just last December. To be specific, on December 5th and 6th, both People and US Weekly ran reports from sources revealing that things weren't going too well. A source close to the couple told People that they had yet another big fight. It's always the same thing, they have severe trust issues in the relationship. It's been rough, but they're still trying to work through it. Whereas US Weekly kinda had some similar comments. Megan and Coulson have had a very up and down relationship. They're great one day and then fighting with each other the next. They love each other and have passion in droves, but that passion goes both ways. Apparently, they're still trying to work through their issues and work on how they communicate, but both of them have such fiery personalities that it's been a struggle. Well, that doesn't sound very optimistic. It sounds like they've needed third-party help a lot, according to my research. And while I'm not about to shame anybody for getting much-needed therapy, I'm right up there too, it ponders the question of just how solid a monogamous relationship can be if they constantly require someone to help them put out fires. A source spoke to Entertainment Tonight on February 11th about how these two are managing the relationship, saying Megan and MGK have their ups and downs as most couples do. They love so hard that sometimes things can be intense, but ultimately they do their best to hear one another and better themselves. They both want a happy, loving, supportive, and honest relationship. They sought third-party help in order to help repair things. Therapy and open communication play pivotal roles in the relationship dynamics, with the couple prioritizing constructive dialogue and personal growth. Seeking guidance from a trusted third party allows them to navigate challenges and strengthen their bond, fostering an environment where mutual understanding thrives. They like to share their thoughts and feelings in a controlled environment with a trusted third party to ensure everyone is heard. It's also a good way for them to develop plans to ensure a healthy future as individuals and as a couple. Which sounds all fine and dandy on paper, but I have a feeling this is a sign things are over. Once again, that's a lot of support you need from somebody that isn't your partner. Here's a curious question. So why didn't they go to any Grammy parties this year? The rapper wasn't nominated for an award this year because his last studio album, Mainstream Sellout, was released in 2022. He did receive a nomination for Best Rock Album at the 2023 Grammys, but lost to Ozzy Osbourne. Which, it's Ozzy. Even though the album did receive quite a few accolades, MGK did express some frustration with how his music was being received, especially the accusations that he had stepped away from rap. In an interview with The Hollywood Reporter in November of 2022, he stated, "I'm talented as F, and I added on to my catalog of 4 great rap albums. So what I did was I added on, never departed, left, or switched." But here's the thing, so yes, he wasn't nominated this year, but not being nominated is no excuse to not go to any of the after parties. I saw Keke Palmer looking absolutely fabulous at one of them, and she's never been nominated for a single Grammy. Come on, folks. In the same vein, if you will, and if you got that reference, gold star for you, the duo hasn't really been spotted together a lot this year. According to the timeline that Elle magazine so graciously put together, Kelly and Fox spent New Year's Eve together, since the pair was photographed in Aspen, Colorado, all bundled up for the cold weather on New Year's Eve, and it was a frosty one this year. But no other public appearances in January. Zilch, zip, nada. On February 12th, they had their first big night out of the year, attending a Super Bowl after party together. They were photographed partying with Taylor Swift and her lovely beau, which is a very smart PR move if you ask me. Fast forward a month later, March 4th, they touched down in Mexico for a romantic getaway. They stayed at an exclusive tropical resort, photographed by paparazzi upon their arrival, but that's it. That's all we got for a couple of months. It's a little slim pickings for the couple that is so apparently in love, so I'm calling breakup. Back I go to a point that I made earlier, they've been off and on, which is not a good track record for couples. Megan's had a bit of a history with this, and she and her now ex-husband were also on again, off again. And well, I did say ex-husband, didn't I? The only thing we know for sure was when the engagement got called off last year, and then they got back together. But I got a feeling they're on the rocks again. Pardon me, I'm gonna be a little redundant for a second and elaborate on last year's breakup. Rumors about a possible split between the pop punk star and the actress kinda swirled around for a little while after Megan posted a cryptic message to her Instagram on February 12th, quoting lyrics from Beyonce's 2016 Lemonade song, Pray You Catch Me. Hours after that post, she deactivated her Instagram altogether. What was the caption? You can taste the dishonesty, it's all over your breath. To further ignite the split rumors, she deleted all photos and videos with MGK on Insta. And then all but confirms this year that the engagement is off? Girl, I'm sorry to say it, but things are not looking good. Okay, I'll change gears for a moment and focus more on MGK instead of Megan, because I'm a big believer that in any situation, the truth is always somewhere in the gray area between story A and story B. The singer-songwriter dropped the new song Don't Let Me Go and its accompanying music video on Wednesday, February 21st. So, about a month ago. The track features very, very heartfelt confessions, from MGK's life-ending thoughts to his lover's heartbreaking. The video is currently racking up a lot of views on YouTube. I think it's had over 700,000 people watching him re-embrace his rapping skills, which heck yes. The 33-year-old speaks of a challenging period in his life, with the opening lyrics addressing his mental health. Lately, my thoughts eating me alive. Laid in the bed thinking maybe the hate will finally go away if I'm not alive. And he does some things in the video that I can't talk about, but they were suggestive. I'm not going to talk too much about the It's absolutely awful, but it's definitely something that could take a toll on a relationship. I'm just saying. Remind me again how long they've been technically engaged? Or committed to each other? Right, a year. Now, I know in terms of celebrity engagements, that's pretty par for the course, but why haven't they set a wedding date yet? If these two are truly twin souls, and that's a direct quote from Megan there, we heard that on the podcast earlier this week, then why haven't they rushed into the commitment of marrying each other already? I feel like there's something else we don't know about this duo. Might it be, pardon me here, a PR relationship? Or a situationship that they felt pressured into making it look like there's more? You know my take by now, dear viewers. This relationship is dead in the water. It's a little out there in terms of theories, but I feel like MGK's crazy tattoo might be a sign. So back in February, he dropped this new look on Instagram, and in pictures you could see that the black ink saturates virtually half of his upper body, with some of his original inkings peeking through strategically placed paneled gaps down his arms and in between a cross symbol across his chest. That kind of ink takes a lot of time to do, and what a crazy thing to do in my opinion. This man had so many tattoos on his upper body before that he looks like a cross between a sticker book and an Etch-a-Sketch. To darken all of that out and cover it up, I have questions. His decision to undergo this transformation was apparently a deeply personal one. According to his tattoo artist, apparently he had a spiritual consultation. We were told he explained to his artist that all of his tats were too chaotic for him now and he was seeking change and order in his life. So let me ask you a question, dear viewer. When you go through a crazy life event, like a breakup, do you ever want to drastically change something about yourself to rebalance or reset? I know a lot of folks feel the need to dye their hair, dress differently, or even get a new tattoo. And all this is screaming post-breakup mentality to me, albeit a bit drastic, but that's what you can do when you have the funds. And apparently the pain tolerance, since his tattoo artist praised him for this. Alrighty folks, that's it from me. I've been Alexa. Pleasure to meet y'all, and give this video some love if you want to see me again in the future. Y'all, and give this video some love if you want to see me again in the future. When it comes to observing couple behavior, the powers that be must have had a sense of humor, but that passion goes both ways. About how these two are come on, folks. After Megan posted a cryptic message to her Instagram on February 12th, quoting lyrics from Beyonce's